Hello, this is James from Jamcom IT Consults. I'm back with another part of Windows Calculator, developing the Windows Calculator. And in this one, I'm basically answering most of the questions that came in from the previous discussions. Unfortunately, I don't have the application I used the previous times. A student messed up with the whole application. I did it on a PC that I use for instructions, so a student came and formatted the PC. But no worries, I'll be able to cut out this even without the previous application, because I still have the source code right there. The question that took my attention most was the one on capturing key values using the keyboard. For example, when you look at the Windows Calculator, you are able to enter key values using the keyboard and cut out your arithmetic using the keyboard. So that's where we shall dwell most, and also looking at the other buttons, all these ones here that I didn't look at the previous time. Someone was telling me about the plus minus button. We'll start with creating the menu strip. The first item is view, then edit and help. I'm going to look at edit only, because I'm not going to create the other calculators like the scientific ones and all that, and I'm not going to create the help file as well. So I'll say copy right there and then paste. When you want to copy something, there is a method called the clipboard dot set text. You set the text you want to copy, and then the text we need is from a certain source. Now we need to create the label, because we are copying text from label 1, this label here. Someone was also asking me on how to adjust the label. You are telling me that his label cannot adjust. What you do, you go to auto size, should be somewhere here, set the value to false. I also want to change the back color. I'll give it button face or this. Then font, let me change the font as well. I want it bigger. Make it 10, and then I remove the text. I'll also change the alignment to middle right, right there. I'll go back to our code. I'm picking the values from label 1 dot text, and for paste, I'll double click still. I will say label 1 dot text plus equals clipboard dot get text. Okay, that should be able to work. Now when we come to entering values using the keyboard, we go to the properties, actually not properties, but the events of the form itself. Don't click in any of the controls on the keyboard on the form, but click on the form itself, then come to events. Under events there is key press. We shall get the key press and then say label 1. So what I'll need to do is to get the code that is in buttons, under buttons. Instead of saying label 1.text is equals to button numbers.text, we shall just change a little bit of that, but we need all this code here. Anyway, there is a better way of doing this. Either you create a method or but as I said, since I don't have the previous code, I'll just copy this whole code and paste it here. Then I'll need all these as well. I'll also need all the variables. Put them right there. Now, instead of saying button senders, I will say, don't need this, need to change this. This is where the biggest change is, where we say label 1.text plus equals e.kicker. There. This is how we pick text. We pick characters from the keyboard. Let's try it and see. Trans. Okay. All right. There we are. We're able to pick the characters. Now I'll pause the video a bit. Then I'll create all these other buttons and then get back to you. All these other buttons here, only the buttons we need to look at. We'll be back. I managed to create all these buttons here, as you may see. The only difference is that I didn't create this backspace like this, but this is backspace. If you want, you can create an image, then put it right there. Use an image here. But that is not a big issue right now. And I will start with the backspace itself. When we backspace, what we basically want to do is to remove one character. So we shall say label 1, not text box 1, label 1.text is equal to label 1 dot text, then we shall call the remove property dot remove. Now remove works in such a way that you identify the character you want to remove. For example, if you want to remove the first character, let's say first character is 0, there are indices. You can say 0, comma, and also I tell the number of characters you want to remove, say 2, for example. Okay, let's first do this. Then when I run my calculator again, it takes some time, it thinks about it. Okay, it finally runs, and then we try to type. Oops, no, we can't type in. Now I'm not able to type in. I'm trying to type in, but it's not possible because these keys, the buttons are taking the key presses. So if I want to get the form to take control when I press a key, I need to go back to the properties of the form. Under form load, I write a small piece of code. I'll say this dot key preview, this dot key preview is equal to true. That should work. Okay, I run it again and I type. Now it's able to pick characters. So let me test the backspace. I said I'm removing the first one from the first one, and then I remove 2, so it will remove 9 and 6. 0 is the first one. Alright, now it will remove 3 and 5. Okay, until they all get finished. When it gets finished and you click again, it will generate an error because it can't delete anymore. So we need to write a small piece of code again here up. And before that, we shall delete only one character. Actually, even if we don't specify how many, but we need to remove label 1 dot text dot length -1. Okay, what we are saying is if it has this length, so the length of this character, this is 1 2 3 4 5, we don't count this. There are 5 characters, so the index of 4 is not 5, but it's actually 4. All right, 0 1 2 3 4. That's why we deduct a 1. And we also need to handle the bug. We shall say if label 1 dot text dot length is greater than 0, this is when we shall delete. This is when we shall backspace. Otherwise, if it's less than 0, then we don't equal, or less than 0, we don't need to backspace. The other button we shall look at is this one, CE. How does it work? When you CE, maybe when you say plus and you say CE, it removes everything that is on screen. Remember, in our previous calculation, or in our previous application, we had a number here which is first number. So we don't clear first number, only clear the number that is on screen. We shall therefore come and say label 1 dot text, or rather label 1 dot reset text. All right, I was using this is something I learned from the posts I got. You can just reset it. Actually, even here, instead of saying label 1 dot text is equal to nothing, instead of passing a string, just reset the text dot reset text. Okay, that should do their job. Our next button is this, same code, only that string first number should also equal to nothing. Because when you use the C, if for example you had that and use C, both the first number and whatever is on screen will disappear. No, we are not resetting. We are actually not resetting, but we are setting it to 0. Dot text is equal to 0. That should work now. Our next button is plus minus. So this one, we are saying that if label1.text already contains a character which is this, we should remove, we shall say label1.text is equal to label1.text.remove. We are removing the first character and we remove only one, as I said previously. Else label1.text is equal to this character here and label1.text. Okay, we have an error here. Need to close this. Alright, let's test. I'll run it, thinks about it again. Okay, then we run our application. We can backspace now. It should remove it too. There we are. We can add this or remove it. There we are. We can clear all that. Should give us a 0. It should be a 0, not a reset. I will copy this. And paste it there. Okay, our next button is the square root. This one right there. We shall say label1.text is equal to square root already has a function, rather a method. It's called square root under the math method. So math.square root, square root of label1.text. However, we can't pass values of label1.text because it is a string. So if we did that, that would be wrong, because here it tells us that we should pass a double. What we can therefore do is to create a double somewhere. We shall say double, maybe call it root, is equal to this one here. Let's take away this, and then we convert all this to a double. Actually, we need to convert only this. I don't know whether it's right. I will convert dot to double. Does it work? Need to convert this to yes, it will work. Okay, I think I need to get my brackets right. Square root of that, convert that. Okay, That should work. And then here I just pass root. I don't need this. I just maybe need to convert root back to a string. Sorry if I confused you, but this is I think the best way we can do this. Maybe a little bit of an explanation. Now, why I take a lot of time explaining, it's not that I want you to go and redo the calculator. No, I want you to learn how to write code. I found it easier to teach people how to write code by handling a small project. There people learn easier. So that's why I take time and explain the code that I use. So first of all, when you look at math dot square root, it takes a double, as you see here. So we needed to convert whatever is in label 1 and convert it to double. Then we pass it to our method. Then the label, as I've been explaining all along, will only take on a string. Then we convert this back to a string. Let's run it again and see. We shall take a smaller number like 9. Alright, we shall now no, I need a smaller number like 9. Square root, yes, gives us the correct answer. So this is now working pretty well. Our next button is the % button. Maybe before I go to the % button, there is a small problem with our calculator, in that it can allow other characters as well. So you can input even things like, allows anything. So we need to cater for that. There is a small piece of code I got. Normally, as I said, I want to explain each and every code that I get, but this one I've not yet known so well how it works, but I'll show you. I just paste it there. Okay, the piece of code is right there. You declare an int. It's called try pass. I've not yet learned how try pass works, but just paste it in there and make sure you get the braces right. We need to put a brace here. If this is fulfilled, then do all these below. Then we have to get the braces right there. Now we are able to run our calculator without being able to type in other characters. I can type in these characters very well, but if I try to type maybe P or X or something, it will not accept. Now when we come back, this is when we are going to look at all these other buttons, and we end the calculator episode, unless we have more questions. Thanks for watching.